So here I would like to try an exercise just to make these concepts a little more clear of exactly what it is we're going to be doing with these patterns. So here on the board I've written those 14 pronouns, the pronouns in Arabic: huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. So we should know those pronouns and know what they mean. Huwa for he, huma for two men, hum for a group of men, hiya for she, huma for two women, hunna for a group of women in the third person, anta, now we're moving to speaking directly to someone, anta for you, antuma for you two men, antum for you group of men, anti for you female, antuma for you two female. Once again, it's the same pronoun, antuma wa antuma, that doesn't change for the dual. And then for a group of women, antunna. And then for first person, ana, I, and nahnu, we. So in order for us to make the connection between that and the conjugation charts, here on the first line under these pronouns I've written those conjugations. So huwa corresponds to fa'ala. Huwa means he, fa'ala means he did. Huma means two men, fa'ala means two men did. Hum means them, a group of men, fa'alu means a group of men did, until the end of it. Now what I was mentioning in the video earlier about how the Arabic language works is you can take these verb conjugation patterns and plug into them any root letters you want to get these meanings. So what I mean by that is today we're going to be using the example, the root letters fa and ta and ha. And these root letters give the meaning of opening something. So al-fath is the opening. So even there's a surah in Quran, Suratul Fath, the opening. And here it's meant in the meaning of the victory. In Arabic, a victory in war is called an opening, because when it's like this land was closed off, and then when the army goes in and triumphs in battle there, then they've opened that land up. So here, if we look at fa'ala, meaning he did, we want to take the exact same form, but replace each letter in that form with the letters from our root. So the fa, we're going to replace with, here it's the same letter in this root, fa. But for another word, for example, daraba, he hit, the roots dad, ra, and ba, then the first letter would be dad. But here, the first letter in the root is fa, so we keep that fa. The ayn, the second letter in the root is a ta, so we're going to replace that ayn with a ta. And the third letter is a ha, so we're going to replace that lam with a ha. So fa'ala becomes fataha. So fa'ala means he did. Then we take that same form and we take these the letters from the root that means an opening. So fa'ala, he did, becomes fataha, he opened. And we just do the same thing for every single one of those conjugations. Fa'ala, he did, becomes fataha, he opened. Fa'ala, two men did, becomes fataha, two men opened. Fa'alu, a group of men did, becomes fatahu, a group of men opened. Fa'alat, she did, becomes fatahat, she opened. Fa'alata, two women did, becomes fatahata, two women opened. Fa'alna, one woman did, or a group of women did, becomes fatahna, a group of women opened. And then jumping down here, fa'alta, you did, becomes fatahta, you opened. Fa'altuma, you two men did, becomes fatahtuma, you two men opened. Fa'altum, you group of men did, becomes fatahtum, you group of men opened. Fa'alti, you feminine did, becomes fatahti, you female opened. Fa'altuma, you two women did, becomes fatahtuma, you two women opened. Fa'altunna, you group of women did, becomes fatahtunna, you group of women opened. Fa'altu, I did, becomes fatahtu, I opened. Fa'alna, we did, becomes fatahna, we opened. And one thing that we should be careful of if you see the conjugation for hunna, a group of women is fa'alna, and the conjugation for nahnu, the first person plural, is fa'alna. The only difference between the two of these is that there's an alif after the noon here. So we have to be very careful when we're listening and very careful when we're speaking also, that we recognize that difference between fatahna and fatahna, or fa'alna and fa'alna. Fa'alna means a group of women did. Fa'alna means we did. So that's how the conjugations work. And it's the exact same thing. That was the conjugations for al-madi, al-ma'lum, the past tense, where the doer is known. It's the same thing for al-mudari, al-ma'lum. The same thing for the present tense that we also learned in the previous lesson. So the present tense conjugation, here if you see these stars, I put a green star next to the madi, the past tense conjugations, and I put the red stars where the al-mudari, the present tense conjugations are, so you can try to keep things in order in this chart. So yaf'alu, he does. We're doing present tense now, right? Conjugated for huwa. Yaf'alu, he does, becomes yaftahu, he opens. Yaf'alani, two men do, becomes yaftahani, two men open. Yaf'aluna, a group of men do, becomes yaftahuna, a group of men open. Taf'alu, she does, becomes taftahu, she opens. Taf'alani, two women do, becomes taftahani, two women open. Yaf'alna, a group of women do, becomes yaftahna, a group of women open. Taf'alu, you do, becomes taftahu, you open. Taf'alani, you two men do, becomes taftahani, you two men open. Taf'aluna, you group of men do, becomes taftahuna, you group of men open. Taf'alina, you singular feminine do, becomes taftahina, you woman open. Taf'alani, you two women are opening, becomes taftahani. Taf'alani, you two women are doing, becomes taftahani, you two women are opening. Taf'alna, you group of women are doing, becomes taftahna, you group of women are opening. Af'alu, I do, becomes aftahu, I open. Naf'alu, we do, becomes naftahu, we open. So I just wanted to go through that real quick to help make the connections in our mind between these charts that we're memorizing, and then how those charts actually get used in building new words in the Arabic language. So we can do that with any root letters that we plug in to conjugate for who is doing the action, and whether that person is present and we're speaking directly to them, or whether we're speaking about that person in the third person, or whether we're speaking about ourselves in the first person, or whether it's singular or dual or plural. How all of that is formed is according to these charts and how we plug in those different letters to those charts. So I hope you understood that, and we will practice more as we go along, inshallah.